Hey guys, Willem from Blauberg Snake Rescue here. In this video, I'd like to show you a couple of ways in which you can log your sightings if you see a snake or a reptile or any other animal really, in such a way that your sightings can be used by researchers in their studies. Whether we're out hiking, whether we're camping, out walking the dog, or just away on holiday or something. If you see any of these animals that they keep a record of, you can go and log it on the website or in the app, and that data, your sighting data with the location, the photos, time of year, time of day, all that kind of stuff becomes available to researchers for their studies, and this is quite valuable. Now, what's nice about iNaturalist is it's a bit of a more modern system, so it's got some very nice search features in here, and it also has a mobile app. And most of us have our phones with us most of the time, and you can right from the app take a photo, make a submission, and you're done. It's very, very easy. But this is the iNaturalist website. It's iNaturalist.org. If you go here and you just click on the sign up link top right, you'll be able to sign up. I'm going to log in now. Okay, and here I am logged in. It takes me straight to my dashboard, and on here I can see recent comments that people left on my submissions. I can take a look at submissions from people, areas, or types of animals that I'm following, etc. And then there are a couple of options along the top here. I can look at all of my observations. I can look at my observation calendar to see when I saw various things. I can create lists of certain kinds of animals, and I can join projects. So for example, if I go to projects over here, there are a couple of ongoing research projects specifically for snakes and reptiles. And so these are the ones that I've joined. Herps of Southern Africa, AfriHerps, Habitat South Africa, and so on. Okay, back to the dashboard over here. I can now add an observation by clicking on the Add Observations button on the right-hand side here. And then I can drag and drop a couple of photos. And now I just fill in the details for each of these photos individually, or if it's all the same observation, I can just fill it in on the left-hand side. So again, you can fill in the scientific name or the general name, or if you don't know what it was, you can just leave it empty, and the experts will take a look and they will try and identify it. So let's say I saw this today. I can again use a map to set the location, and I can then decide on here whether the location should be public. In other words, whether everyone who uses iNaturalist should be able to see where I made this observation, whether it should be obscured, which means it's going to be randomized within a couple of kilometers of where it was actually seen, except for the projects that you're involved in. The researchers on the projects can still see the exact locations. The public, other iNaturalist users, they just won't be able to see the exact location. They will see a rough location. Or you can set it to fully private, which means just you can see it, no one else. iNaturalist is quite smart about automatically obfuscating the location for endangered species anyway, so you don't have to worry too much about someone using the system to see where you found an endangered species and then trying to poach them. But if it makes you feel better, you can set these records to obscured. They still are value to the people who run the projects. Okay, then you can add a couple of tags here. I can select which projects I want to add this observation to, and so on. And then once I'm done, on the right hand side, I just click on Submit Observations. Now that's how you would log an observation on the web, but I actually want to show you how to do this on the phone, because like I said, most of us, we have our phones with us all the time. Our phones all have cameras, and if you have the iNaturalist app on your phone, that's actually the easiest way to log these kinds of things. So let's switch over to the phone quickly. Okay, so here I am in the iNaturalist app on my phone, and looking at the map here, I can see data that people have submitted. Let's take a look at this one over here, for example. Okay, so that was a skink that someone submitted over there. Okay, so inside of the iNaturalist app, you just switch over to Observe, and then you can either take the photo right here, or you can select the photo from your camera roll. I've now selected these two photos. I tap on Next. Then I can specify what the species was if I know what it was. If you don't know what it was, you can just leave this empty. In this case, let's say this was a mole snake. I set a date and time for when I made the observation. Then set a location. And you can just zoom the map and then leave the crosshair at the location. You can also switch to a standard map if that helps. I quite like the hybrid one, which is a satellite with roads overlaid on it. Tap on save. I could then decide whether this observation should be open, obscured, or private. And like I said, obscured means that the public won't be able to see exactly where you found this animal. The system will show it within a random radius from where you actually found it, within a couple of kilometers. And people who run the projects that you submit this observation to, they will be able to see the exact location. Or if you set it to private, no one would be able to see the exact location. And then next, I can specify which projects I want to submit this to. So let's say I want to submit it to that one over there and that one over there. And then I just tap on share at the bottom of the screen. And this will be sent through, and usually within a couple of minutes the experts will also take a look at it and they'll start submitting their suggestions for what the species was. And then as the submissions come in, you will see people's comments here on the record. So I can see here the entire history. I can also ask questions, leave comments, see questions other people asked me about this observation, and it's as easy as that. Once you've submitted your data like this, you're done. Okay, and then back on the iNaturalist website, just one more thing I want to show you. You don't just have to submit observations, you can also help vote on the species for observations. And if you're trying to learn about specific kinds of animals like snakes and improve your ID skills, this is actually a good way to do it. Don't guess, but if you feel confident you've identified something correctly, submit your identification and see if the experts agree with you. So back on the iNaturalist website, you can just click over here on observations, identify, and then you can fill in a couple of the search fields here to narrow it down. So let's say I want to see just snakes, South Africa. There we go. It's now showing me all of the snake records within South Africa that still need to be identified. And so if I open up one of these, I can now see who made the observation, when they made the observation, where it was. I can see any photos they submitted. And if I scroll down, I can see 2 people already have said that this animal belongs within the thread snake family. There's no specific species yet. It looks like because the area wasn't specified correctly. But nevertheless, you can then agree with one of these guys. If you're sure, you think that's what it is, you just click on the agree button over here, or you can make your own identification right at the bottom. You can suggest an identification, fill in the species name, give a reason, and submit it. And by doing this, you're helping the researchers build up the database, and it's a little bit of citizen science. It's giving back a little bit, and possibly helping with the conservation of these animals down the line as well. Thanks guys. If you have any questions about what I showed you in this video, leave a comment below and I will try and answer as best as I can.